recording in progress. ماشي نبدأ to solve these questions together. نبدأ بالترتيب كده. يلا يا بسنت.
Concentrated hydrochloric acid was broken down by the passage of electricity using this apparatus. What is the name of this process? Electrolysis.
This process is electrolysis. بسنت إلهام لانا رهف. يعني احفظوها كده بالترتيب ورا بعض. بسنت إلهام لانا رهف. بسنت خلصت إلهام. يلا إلهام.
Suggest a suitable material from which to make the electrodes, platinum or graphite.
Yes, لانا.
Gas A is chlorine. Give a test for chlorine. By using litmus paper, and it will change to blue, I guess, if I remember correctly.
It will be what?
We will use a blue litmus paper.
Litmus paper, okay. Litmus paper. What is the result?
It will turn red.
No.
Can I answer?
Paper white.
Turns
Yes.
white. Yes, turns white. Turns a white. Bleach litmus paper. أيوة تفضل.
Mister, can I ask you a question?
Okay, بسنت.
If I said that it would turn red, then bleach it to white.
Actually, it will be it's bleached directly.
Because I saw a video before and it turned a bit red and then I bleached it.
We need
After
we need what is the initial color? It was blue. What is the final color? Finally, what was the color? It will be white.
so if I wrote it bleached it instead of writing white.
Yeah, acceptable. Yeah, bleach acceptable.
Okay.
Okay. يلا يا رهف.
Okay. Gas B pops when tested with a lighted splint. What is gas B? Hydrogen?
Yes, directly Bob. The only gas give Bob sound is hydrogen. Lighted splint. So this is here hydrogen. You have to write here hydrogen. Okay. This is the first question. 5 out of 5. يلا يا إلهام نبدأ من أول تاني. تفضل يا إلهام.
Mister, it's actually my turn.
Basant's turn first.
بسنت. Okay, ماشي. يلا يا بسنت.
Okay. A concentrated solution of sodium chloride was electrolyzed using the apparatus below. So one observation noted was that the universal indicator turned purple at the negative electrode. What observation would be made at both electrodes? It's a concentrated sodium chloride.
So you have to detect what are the products.
So you would at both electrodes you would get we could observe bubbles.
Yes,
gas.
bubbles. Yes, exactly. Bubbles. Yeah. So here the word bubbles is acceptable. ماشي. مين بعدها؟ يلا احفظوا الدور بس يا جماعه عشان خاطر ايه يعني دايركت كده one by one. يلا يلا.
Why did the indicator turn purple at the negative electrode? I don't know.
What happened at the negative electrode? Concentrated sodium chloride. At the negative electrode, hydrogen will form. Okay. At the positive electrode, chlorine will form. What is the remaining in the solution? ماشي يا بسنت.
So why did the indicator turn purple since sodium hydroxide was formed?
Yes.
At the negative electrode?
Sodium hydroxide will form in the solution because of the presence of sodium hydroxide.
So sodium hydroxide turns the universal indicator purple.
Yeah, it will be purple. Yeah. Okay. even if you don't know what is the color of sodium hydroxide with the universal indicator, you have to ask yourself, what is the remaining after electrolysis? Sodium hydroxide. So because of the presence of sodium hydroxide. يلا اللي بعده مين بعدها؟
Name the product formed at the positive electrode. Sodium.
Sodium at the positive electrode. Sodium is positive actually. How it's formed at the positive electrode as well? It's impossible. Attention please. Concentrated sodium chloride. Check. What will attract it to the negative electrode? Sorry, at the positive electrode.
Sodium is positive. It will go to the negative.
Yes.
And the chloride is negative, so it will be attracted to the positive.
Yes. So why
So
chloride?
chloride.
Yes. Here chlorine. Yeah. So why chlorine is attracted to the positive electrode?
Because opposite.
No, because okay, I'm agree with you because opposite, but because of what? This is concentrated solution. Concentrated solution of halide. You have concentrated and you have halide. So halide will form at the positive electrode.
Oh yes.
If you remember the rule, if you have concentrated solution of halide, okay, halide will form. But if you have dilute solution of halide or there is no halide, oxygen will form. Okay, يلا اللي بعدها.
Sir, I have a question.
تفضلي ماشي.
Isn't the anode the negative electrode and the cathode the positive electrode?
The cathode is
Or is it the other way around?
the cathode is a negative.
Yes, and anode is the positive.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
يلا بعدها. مين بعدها؟
أنا أرهب.
ماشي يلا.
Okay, we're in C, صح? Okay.
Here.
Just the effect of this product on the universal indicator. So the one that's formed on the chlorine, it's non-metal. So it's it turns it blue.
Listen, this is a question related to I. In I, what we said, what is the gas will form as a positive electrode? Chlorine gas.
Chlorine.
Chlorine, yeah. Chlorine, what will form? Bleached, always with universal indicator or with litmus paper. Bleached.
Bleached.
White. Yes, okay. So I actually related to number letter I. So here we are asking you about chlorine. Bleached. Chlorine bleached directly. Bobsowen, this is hydrogen. Rhyolite, this is oxygen. We have something this يعني constant عندنا لازم نكون عارفينها. يلا اللي بعد رهف مين؟
I think it's my turn again.
ماشي اوكي يلا.
So the apparatus below was used to deposit a thin layer of chromium on a steel knife. The knife was cleaned carefully and all the grease removed before the process started. What is the name of the process when metal objects are coated with other metals? Electroplating.
Yes, here electroplating. Thank you. بعده.
Suggest the identity of metal A.
Read the question and detect what is metal A. The answer in the question.
Okay. Chromium.
Chromium. Yes. صح. احنا you need to electroplate by chromium. So metal A supposed to be chromium. Okay. مين بعد إلهام؟ يلا.
It's Lana's turn.
Me. Suggest the name of salt B. It's going to be, I'm not quite sure, but maybe chromium with a salt, chromium sulfate.
Chromium
Not sure.
sulfate. Yes. Any chromium salt. Chromium sulfate, chromium chloride, chromium nitrate, whatever as you like. المهم هنا solution here. Okay. Salt B must be from the same type of metal A. We said metal A is chromium, so solution B should be chromium sulfate, chromium nitrate, whatever. Okay. يلا بعدها مين بعدها؟ Mm.
To make it shinier and to resist corrosion.
Yes, make it shiny, resist corrosion. 1 mark for each one. بس أنت تعتقد يا غير بس.
Electricity was passed through a solution of concentrated hydrochloric acid using the apparatus shown. Give two expected observations. So it's a concentrated hydrochloric acid. So I would expect chlorine gas to form, bubbles of chlorine gas.
Bubbles. Listen, here observation. Observation means something you can see, something you can see by your eye. So if you
Bubbles of gas formed.
If your answer is chlorine gas will form, actually this is not correct because you cannot see chlorine gas. Chlorine gas is not visible. You see bubbles.
So bubbles.
Yes, bubbles.
First.
Bubbles acceptable. Number 1, bubbles, 1 mark. What you can
so
see
the
else?
second. Water would remain. So can I say a liquid that turns cobalt? I don't remember what is anhydrous. A liquid that turns anhydrous salt into hydrated salt.
No, listen to me. Here we are asking about observation. Observation means something you can see. Here.
Bubbles at the negative electrode and bubbles at the positive electrode.
Okay, bubbles, both are bubbles. Here, concentrated hydrochloric acid. This is electrolysis of concentrated hydrochloric acid.
Yes.
Do you have electricity or not?
You do.
Yes, we have electricity. What is this?
A voltmeter?
No. The sign what? What does
A
it mean?
bulb?
Yes, bulb.
Bulb?
Yes.
Oh, so the bulb would shine?
The bulb.
Would light up?
Light, yes. Lighting the bulb. Because we have electricity from this experiment. Actually, electrolysis of HCl produce electricity. You have a bulb
Yes.
here, so bulb's light. Or lamp light. Number 2, you have bubbles of gas. So إلهام يا إلهام تفضلي إلهام ماشي.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Will it be wrong if it said that a yellow-green gas is released at the anode, while a gas that burns with a pop sound upon placing a glowing splint on it at the cathode? That means chlorine and hydrogen.
Okay, chlorine and hydrogen, but we need observation. I'm agree
Yes.
with you. There is hydrogen gas. Okay.
And chlorine is a yellow-green gas.
You can. We need to write yellow-green gas, yellow-green
Just
bubbles.
chlorine.
Okay, acceptable. Okay, but in both cases, you are referring to the gas. Yani if you wrote here bubbles refer to the gas. Number 2, you wrote green gas. Also, you are referring to the gas in both. In number 1, you refer to the gas. In number 2, you refer to the gas. We need 2 different points. Got it? فهمت قصدي إلهام؟
Yes.
يعني if number 1, if you wrote bubbles, فأنت you are talking about the gas. If number 2, if your answer is green color or green gas, also you are talking about the gas again. We need 2 different points here. 2 different points. Number 1, you said bubbles. Okay, acceptable. Or you can see green gas. Okay, acceptable. This is number 1. But in number 2, you must refer to another observation. Another observation.
Well, there are 2 gases.
Another observation here, which is very, very clear in this experiment, is
The bulb will light up.
yes, the lamp will light the lamp. So in number 1, I can write lamp light. And in number 2, bubbles. bubbles here.
Okay,
Okay, بعده مين؟
matter.
مم.
Suggest a suitable material for the electrodes, platinum and graphite.
بتكلم عن الجرافايت يعني كثير خالص الدكتور. ماشي بعد إلهام مين؟
A lighted splint placed in a test tube of the gas collected at the negative electrode gave a pop sound. The identifier of the gas was hydrogen.
Very easy. Hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen. Hydrogen.
Yes. But attention here. Attention here. انا يعني انا بشرح برضه عايزكم تاخدوا بالكم من الكومن ميستيكس اللي بنشوفها في السكريبت من البورد كل سنه. هيدروجين جاز اوكي هيدروجين اكسبتبل كتبنا H2 برضه اكسبتبل انما sometimes في بعض students بيكتبوا H not acceptable wrong H this is wrong not correct. You must write hydrogen as a word, you must write H2 as a symbol, but you cannot write H alone. So what is H? What is H? Okay. اللي بعدها مين؟ تفضلي.
State through safety precautions that must be followed when carrying out this experiment.
Okay, safety.
So
What are safety here you can do in this experiment?
I think you need to wear safety goggle, safety, what do you call them? You need to wear a lab coat.
Lab coat, goggles,
Mask, because there's gases.
clothing. Here, I will say something very important about this experiment. Here, what you have, what is the gas will form as the positive electron? What is this gas?
Chlorine.
Chlorine. Chlorine gas, actually, this is a poisonous gas. This is a poisonous gas. Any experiment, any electrolysis, and you have chlorine gas as a product, or you have a gas, okay, in general, you have a gases, produce a gases. One of the most important precautions is do the experiment inside fume cupboard. Fume cupboard. Okay, fume cupboard. fume cupboard ده هو دولاب الغازات، يعني أول ما في غاز فورم بيعمل absorption للغاز ف it cannot harm your tissue or your skin or your lungs. يبقى هنا precautions number one, it's very easy. Number one, you can write whatever as you like. Gloves, okay, acceptable. You need to write instead of gloves, goggles, acceptable. Someone need to write lab coat, yes, acceptable. Okay, برضو acceptable. Someone need to write, okay, I need to tie back here, your hair, tie back here, okay, acceptable. But what is the most important one here? Fume cupboard. This is very important, fume cupboard, because we have chlorine gas here. This is very, very dangerous, poisonous gas. Fume cupboard. So for safety, for this experiment, if you have any question about safety inside chemistry lab, write gloves, goggles, lab coat, tie back here, as you like, okay? And once you have a gas, make experiment inside a fume cupboard. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
sir, the fume cupboard, it will not allow any gases out?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Not allow any gas out. You cannot breathe these gases because fume cupboard, if you're doing experiment inside the fume cupboard, if you have chlorine gas, if you have oxygen gas, whatever the gas, okay, it will absorb this gas. You cannot breathe it. So you can protect
Yes, okay, thank you.
you can protect yourself. Okay, the question number 4. Okay, question number 5. يلا على الدور. مين؟
Okay, electricity was passed through a solution of concentrated hydrochloric acid as shown below. Bubbles were observed at each electrode. Give one other expected observation.
Okay.
So the bulb would light up.
Yes. Lamp light. lamp a light. He said here bubbles. So what is the observation? If you have any experiment about electricity and you have a lamp, your observation must be the lamp light. Lamp light, okay. Which term? Label the electrode.
Label the electrodes. Name the gas given off at the cathode. Negative electron. Hydrogen.
اوكي ليبل الكترود طبعا انت نعمل ايه هنا في الليبلنج الكترود this is the electrode
Okay.
just label this part this cube name the gas what you said إلها
Name the gas given off at the cathode. The
hydrogen gas okay give a test for this gas test for hydrogen gas complete your answer إلها. What is the test?
Give a test for this gas. The test is a glowing splint, and the result a pop sound, a squeaky pop sound.
Yes, the test is what?
A glowing splint or a lighted splint.
Lighted splint. Okay. So here
And the result is a squeaky pop sound.
Squeaky pop sound. Squeaky pop sound. Okay.
So just why at the beginning of the electrolysis, no gas was collected at the anode. Maybe because the chlorine dissolved already?
Yes, because chlorine is dissolved. Chlorine soluble. Chlorine soluble, so it will dissolve. So you cannot see a gas.
So it's correct?
Yes, so here, 2 marks here. Attention here, 2 marks. So you must mention chlorine is soluble, 1 mark. Chlorine is what? Soluble. This is 1 mark. So what does mean chlorine is soluble?
It dissolved.
It dissolve. So this is the second mark, 2 out of 2. Okay, so 1 mark for chlorine is soluble, and 1 mark for chlorine will dissolve. So 2 out of 2 in this question. 2 out.
Mister, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So that means chlorine was formed, but you couldn't see it since it's dissolved again?
At the beginning of the question, concentration of chlorine will be less, few concentration, okay? Few amount of chlorine gas, so it will dissolve. You cannot see bubbles, you cannot see something. You cannot see chlorine at the beginning of the electrolysis process. But
Sir,
yes.
I have a question and the question above.
Mash.
The diagram above. Which one is the anode and which one is the cathode?
This is the negative one, cathode. This is the positive. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. 5 minutes break and we continue inshallah with the questions. 5 minutes break exactly.